Hello everyone, welcome back, JavaMentor.net here, and in today's tutorial let's learn about wrapper classes. So let's imagine some website where you would like to register and there are some fields to populate, for example, email, password, are you married, or first name, last name, and so on and so on. Now, some fields are mandatory, email, password, and your first name, and some fields are optional, so they are not mandatory. For example, are you married? And now, if you remember correctly, are you married? It can be either true or false, right? So we can create one variable, are you married? Or in the programming languages, in programming usually you're saying is married. That's the proper name for the variable, and you can say, okay, this guy is married, so is married equals true. But we said that that field on that page where you are registering is optional. So it can be either true, false, or it can be unknown. So some persons won't check anything there. And with our variable is married, we can only support either true or false. Unknown is not supported. And the same thing, the same problem is, for example, if you're entering age. You can give some number, but you cannot say unknown. That's impossible. In order to support that, Java created some classes which are, for example, for the int primitive type, it's integer age, and now you can say 25. So this is a standard class, the same as string, the same as list. So it's a normal class. If you go there, you can see class. Okay, it has some final blah blah, but it is a class. So you're creating an object of the class. And the most important, you can say equals null, because null represents unknown. And in the same fashion, there is a boolean, is married equals null. So we say we don't know if someone is married or not. And for every primitive type, there is a wrapper in Java. So for int, it's integer. For boolean, it's boolean. For char is character, right? Something like this. And a very important thing to notice is that you can use this object age in the exactly same fashion like you would use primitives. So some variable, let's call this variable a for a second. Let's say we created a variable a equals 10, so you can say age equal a, which is a bit weird because you are assigning a primitive to the object, which is usually not possible. So you cannot say person p equal a, that wouldn't work. But in the case of these wrappers, Java is automatically converting this primitive to the object. And vice versa is also possible. A equals age. The only things to consider here and not to forget is that if age is null, like in our case, and we are trying to assign null into the primitive, and primitive cannot hold null, you remember that, we will have null pointer exception, as you can see here. Null pointer exception. So just make sure that you don't try to assign null to the primitive, and everything should be fine. Also interesting to say is, of course, that since this is a class, it can have some methods, right? So you have some methods which you can use on integer, on boolean, and so on and so on. Those methods are not present in the A because there are no methods and fields on the primitive types. Don't forget that. And aside from these null things, so aside from this holding unknown value, these wrapper classes have one more major use case, and you will see that use case in the next video when we talk about array list and list. In the next video you can try, instead of integer, we will use integer for something, you can try to use small int and you will realize that that's not possible. That's it for this video. Let's jump and learn about lists and array lists. See you in the next video.